Afternoon, VC. All right, I guess we're kind of back doing these weekly finds deals. So, got maybe 6 records here. A lot on German labels, oddly enough, just how it worked out. First record, got this in an auction from Michael Poetry on Plastic. He has been doing a few classical auctions with Rob, and Rob's also had a few really nice classical records to sell, but nothing really in my wheelhouse that I was seeing. So I asked him if he had any Stockhausen or Xenakis records, things like that. He said he did not, but he did say that he had this record that might fit the bill from Alban Berg, and it's camera music. It's chamber music ensemble Intercontemporan, if I said that right. But yeah, on Deutsche Grammophon, 1978, German copy, stereo. Darren Barenbaum on piano, Pinkas Zuckerman on violin, and Anthony Pay on clarinet. And this is directed and conducted by Pierre Boulez. This is some heavy hitters in this group. Yeah, and what's nice about this copy is it had the insert. I rarely find Deutsche Grammophones still with the insert. And yeah, I believe this to be a 1978 stereo original. Just from looking at the labels, I didn't quite peer into the dead wax yet, but I think that's what this might be. So yeah, very pleased to get that. In the more experimental avant realms of the classical stuff. And then I was looking for, I forget what I was looking for on eBay. You know how eBay is now, where it's throwing stuff at you, whether you want to see it or not. So, like there's the one, if you're interested in this, then maybe you'd be looking for this type section. And this record popped up, and I was like, oh wow, okay. Haven't really been seeking these out, but this popped up. It's a group that's been on my want list for many years. I want to say Ricarda, or it could have been Diana in Germany. Had talked about this group, so I had checked it out. I've been looking for this one box set from Italy for years. It's got a yellow cover, and there's a little bit more in the free jazz and improvised jazz realms in that. It's not quite as crazy as this record, their first record. And the name of the group's in German, and it translates to Rarely Heard Music is the name of the group. I can't really say it in German. My German's terrible. But it's on Edition. Hans-Jörg Meyer is the label. And this is an original copy of their first record. Roth, Rome, and Weiner is the group. There's a lot of crazy, weird vocals on this. The piano, I would say, is frantic playing at times. A lot of interesting things going on this record. We'll show you the label. And it's a really nice copy. Happy to get this. It's in pristine condition. Really nice labels. And high quality vinyl, high quality inner sleeve. Everything was done really well with these releases. Again, I'd like to find that box from Italy, but, ones that are trashed are $250 and up. I've just never even thought about pulling the trigger on something like that. Everything's usually in Europe for the most part. If any of that stuff's here in the States, it's outrageously priced. But this was already a good price because the vendor was like they sell all kinds of shit, not just records. Look like maybe an antique type place out near San Francisco, somewhere in the burbs. And I threw a super low ball because they had buy an hour best offer. I threw a crazy low ball offer, and if it immediately doesn't reject, then they're going to look at it. They immediately took it. They took I paid under a third of what this goes for on Discogs. So here it is, and yeah, happy to get into some new territories. I've pretty much got all the free jazz I could ever use over here. Trying to lean into some more of the experimental Avant territories. You know, there's gonna be a lot of more electronic things. There's some Terry Riley I've been needing to get for a while. Stuff like that I'm gonna be looking into. But yeah, this was a nice one to get. Hope to stumble upon some more of this stuff. But the box sets are crazy. And then, not to disappoint Sean in Louisiana, I went back over to Repo to see what had survived. It had been a week or so since Black Friday. And, yeah, they had a lot of stuff still left. Only a few of the big titles were sold out. And this is just one I forgot to pick up. The Viva Ngozi from Now Again Records. Egon actually hit a home run with this one. There's been a lot of times I've gotten their releases and just been sorely disappointed in the quality, mainly due to the United Pressing Plant being a full gas station toilet, but and them just being as cheap as possible with their releases. But this one is an exception to the rule. They've really stepped their game up with this, and it's only 20-some bucks. The jacket's decent. It's not phenomenal, but it's a little bit better than before. It's got a really nice inner sleeve. The pressing's quiet. The transfer's done very well. It's flat. It's not warped to oblivion like a lot of their releases I've gotten. Really cool labels. They kind of redid the Chris Editions label. I believe that's what that was. I have some original 7 inches that I got from Dylan on that label. But yeah, nice flat pressing. Booklet is great. It explains the history of the band. The drummer Chris Zevitembo, great drummer. And yeah, it talks all about the Ngozi family, the history of all the records, not just this record. Some great rare photos too. And man, the guy looked the part. He was a rock star over there, coming out of the Zamrock scene. And yeah, he kept the music going through many different labels. And this release is great. The playing is really good. Pretty good uplifting vibe throughout. Kind of like a happier Hendrix, I'd say. Hendrix influence on this record. Yeah, this is one that Carlson was really stoked to get. Pretty much made his record store day. Yeah, it's just a great job by Egon and Now Again on this one. They hit a home run. Very pleased to see the improvement. I knew I was taking a chance getting this, and very pleased. This is very well done. There's 10 cuts. Most of the vocals are in English. I think of the last song on each side, though, is in their native language, which is really cool to hear. Yeah, and Tommy Moale on bass is just a badass on this in places. Yeah, it used to be originally on Chris Editions. Recorded in 1976 in Nairobi, Kenya, I believe. Awesome job on that one. The next 2 records came from Rob, the Waxed. He kindly had set one aside for me, and then he sent another one on as VCLT. This record, I rarely see the Hat Hut records here, and so I was happy to get this. Steve Lacy and Steve Potts featuring the voice of Irene Ivy Tips, and these have never been reissued. There's a CD version and this version on vinyl, originally put out, and that's it. This was recorded by Jeff Gilson in Paris. Really well done. I really dig Steve Potts. It's hard to find his stuff. And there's got some of the actual music sheets there, which is cool to see. And it's on this fantastic Hat Hut label that Joe McPhee made famous. But there's a lot of great stuff from Steve Lacy on this label as well. Very cool labels. And very cool inner sleeve with some of the other titles listed on there. yeah, awesome to get this. And have not spun this one yet. Looking forward to it. I'm not sure what I'm all in for here. I don't think I've heard this one before. But with vocals, it could be great, could not be. I don't know. We'll find out. I dig Steve Potts though. Lacey can be hit or miss. But Rob threw this in the package as well. This is one that Dom had sent him his VCLT. He already had a copy, so he was happy to move this one along to me, which is much appreciated. Archie Shepp, live in San Francisco, stereo copy on Impulse. I've been looking for this for like 8 years or so. Really happy to get this. Beaver Harris is on drums. Roswell Rudd on trombone. Really dig him on trombone on anything. Donald Garrett bass and Louis Worrell also on bass. Archie's playing tenor and some piano on this. I had sampled this probably 8 years ago and really was one of the first Archie Shepp records that I was drawn to. And I've just never found a copy in a shop. I've always wanted, it's just one I wanted to find in a shop. I didn't feel like there's ever been a need to go online and order a record like this. I just figured I'd run across it, but I just never have. So, you know, so here it is. Not a first or second pressing. I think maybe a third or fourth on these Red Impulse labels. Probably a fourth pressing. But in nice shape. And yeah, very happy to get this from Dom's old collection. So that's what we have there. And then last but not least, I got this record from Felipe from the Jazz Bums. He had recently got a early pressing of this record. Another one that's been on my want list just as long as the Archie Shepp. I've been looking for these Nathan Davis MPSs for eternity, but they're all like $450 at the beginning for a poor condition copy, and then up from there, and always in Europe. Nathan Davis Quintet with Carmel Jones on trumpet, the Hip Walk on MPS, and this is a 180 gram gatefold reissue. Beautiful reissue of this. There's a lot of information here, but Jimmy Woods on bass, Kenny Clark drums, Francis Boland on piano. Really nice insert booklet showing the tape information. The MPS label they did for this release. Real thick, heavy vinyl. This sounds really good, and yeah, this is some really good stuff. What's this? The photo on here is from Stuttgart, Germany in 1965. Really cool. So thanks, Felipe. This was a big one to mark off my list, because now I don't need to go after original now. This reissue will do me just fine. There's a lot of records like that. I don't know, I'm a little particular. There's some that I have to have an original of, and then there's some that I don't. So that one I'm very, very excited to have a nice reissue of. That's it for this update. Hope you're well. Peace.